Hello, this is Stuart from Thermarest, and today we're going to talk about the Thermarest Fast and Light range. The Fast and Light range are made up with two distinct technologies. We have the Neo Air technology and the classic foam-filled Pro Light. So we'll start with the warmest mat first and show you the different sizes. So we'll start with the X-Therms. So the two mats here, there's the same warmth, same construction. There's the X-Therm Max, which is square and longer, and the X-Therm, which is a tapered shape, more efficient shape. They both have an R value of 5.7, so really warm 4-season mats. The X-Therm in a regular size weighs 430 grams, and the X-Therm Max in a regular size is 490 grams. So really, it's just a different shape and a bigger size. So you can see, I'm 5 foot, just about 5'10", and you can see that that's how big a regular mat is in the standard. And then in the Max, you can have a lot more room to move around, keep your shoulders, your feet a bit warmer. So they are only so they're just foil laminate air constructions. There's no foam in these mats. Very light, sub 500 grams. And fold up, very small, because there's just nothing inside them. Okay, so those are the two warmest ones. Now the next warmest mat is the Pro Light Plus. So the Pro Light Plus has R value of 3.4. This is a classic punched foam mat. So it's self-inflating, which the Neo Airs aren't. You actually have to blow them up either by breath or using the pump sack that comes with them. But this is a self-inflating mat, so the foam expands, sucks air in, and you just have to put a few breaths in at the end to get the desired hardness of the mat, depending on how you like to sleep. But the foam weighs something. It gives a more comfortable night's sleep, but it does have a weight penalty. So a Pro Light Plus is 570 grams. So it's a very comfortable mat. It's quieter to sleep on than the crinklier Neo Air mats, but it doesn't fold up as small either. And so but the Pro Light Plus and the Pro Light have been in the range for many years, and they're kind of proven winter sleeping mats. So we have those in men's and women's. The women's mats are just shorter and a different shape to the men's mats, but the technology is the same. Next in the Fast and Light range is the Neo Air X Light. So it is pretty similar construction to the X-Therm, although there's not as much foil involved. So it's a layered inflatable laminate construction, but because it doesn't have the reflective foil, it's not as warm, but that does mean that it's not as noisy to sleep on. The outer fabric is still a bit crinkly, but it doesn't have all the foil noise inside it. So the X Light has an R value of 3.2 and a weight of 350 grams in the regular size. Again, a no foam inflatable mat construction. Just while you're there, what I'll do is I'll very quickly deflate this mat and show you really how small they do go, these Neo Airs. Over the last few years, we've seen the gradual conversion of all the foam mats in the range into more and more Neo Air technology, because it really is so much smaller and lighter. And now that Thermarest think they've made them, very robust and difficult to puncture, then they're quite happy. So that's, just in a quick, that's the size that I can get. If I re-roll this without the air now, do it again. This is basically the best way to do it, is to do it once and then re-roll it again and get a second lot of air out of it. Much quicker. It is the size of a small baguette. You know, and it's the classic nice long thin shape, goes down the corner of your backpack. There's always a little gap where the back frame comes round into the main part of the bag, and it's a classic spot to slide your mat in. Really is nothing to them. So that is the Neo Air X Light. Next down in the range we have the standard Pro Light. Same construction, just a thinner foam. So it's not quite as fat, but everything else about it is pretty much the same. A regular in that weighs 480. So the regular in the Pro Light Plus was 570. Yeah, that's it really. Very similar. So that's the Pro Light Plus. The next warmest mat is the staple of alpine climbers throughout for many years, is the Z Light Sol. So this is not an inflating mat. It is a textured 3D foam mat. The reason alpine climbers love these mats is that they're considerably better value and lower priced than the inflating mats, and you can't puncture it. You can sleep on a spiky rocky ledge, and you know you can put a hole in your mat and you're still going to have a reasonable night's sleep. You're never after a comfy night's sleep, the kind of people who carry these. But if you puncture one of these mats, that's it. You're lying on a piece of foil, and that's all the insulation and all the comfort you're going to get. So for really challenging conditions, then that's why these guys prefer this mat. So that's the Z Light Sol. Now it's pretty good. It has an R value of 2.6. So you know the Pro Light only had an R value of 3, and it weighs 410 grams, and it concertinas up like that. You quite often see these big oblong things on the side of alpine climbers packs. So that's the Z Light Sol. The last mat in the range is new for summer 15, is the Evo Light. Now the Evo Light is kind of a strange combination. So it has half of it is inflatable, Neo Air style, and the other half has foam in it. So it does self-inflate. The foam isn't complete all over like the other foam mats, but there's enough in it to actually make it self-inflate, and then you have to top it up with a few breaths yourself to the desired hardness. It's a very comfortable mat because it combines the foam and the air. So, so you can see the foam sections are there, and then the bubbly bits are the air, and it's got a channel down the middle then, which tends to allow the mat to curve slightly, so you don't tend to roll off it. You tend to stay in the middle of it. So it's a very comfortable mat. But of the lightweight series, it is the least warm. So it's 2.1. So it is really a 3-season mat at best, and more like summer and spring. It is also not that light at 410 grams. So the real advantages of this mat are its comfort, and it's the fact that it self-inflates, and it's got a soft fabric, so it's very quiet to sleep on, which has been a criticism of some of the Neo Airs, although that has been addressed and they're getting less crinkly than they used to be. So yeah, it's not the lightest and it's not the warmest, but it is sufficiently light and warm to be in the fast and light range.